ball is on the ground and moving. We are on the air and cruising. Let's do 90 alongside Kobe Jones. I'm Adrian Garcia Marquez. Thank you, Rob. So now, Kobe, we have these two teams. They're going to find out who they are in this matchup. A lot of questions coming in about Canada. Who did we really see against the United States? They were able to fire off 14 shots after giving up that early goal 20 seconds in. As far as Costa Rica is concerned, perfection all the way through. Coaching change, that did not matter. They've been playing excellent football, and now they face each other in these quarterfinals, trying to find out who's going to face Mexico coming up in this Gold Cup tournament. Bienvenido, Kobe Jones.
Now we look at both sides. As you said, Adrian, both teams, a lot of questions to be asked. Canada trying to find themselves and determine, are they going to be that next team that gets into the elite within CONCACAF? And then for Costa Rica, the question is, they've had that so-called golden generation. How long can they hold on? Is it time to start seeing some new faces? And they have a new coach that's going to try to see and decide where this Costa Rican side goes from here.
And speaking of Luis Fernando Suarez side, let's take a look at their starting lineup. Esteban Alvarado under the three pipes, and that's again due to another change that had to be made. And you think about Keylor Navas not being able to play, shoulder injury, and then obviously you got to make another adjustment under the three pipes. I think you're going to see Esteban Alvarado, the man from Herediano, stepping it up. And up top, I mean, you have a Joe Campbell. You're going to have Alonso Martinez, who's been looking good since Nations. What do you expect out of Costa Rica side coming in? Because Ariel Lassiter, you know him really, really well. He's been also bringing a little bit of lightning and thunder. Yeah, well, I knew his dad even better with Roy Lassiter, but just seeing him grow up over the years, I know what he brings the Houston Dynamo man. Look at this ball filtered nicely. And that is the first warning fired off by the Canadians. Junior Guillet was close by as Alvarado made a play. Guillet is still on the ground. So let's take a look at Canada's starting lineup. We get the opportunity 2 minutes in. And for the Canadians, as we were talking about, they had already secured their spot in the quarterfinals when they faced the United States. So there wasn't really that much pressure. Pressure's on that they've had to play excellent football, given the fact that they've lost a couple of key players. Alfonso Davies, one of those guys, but they've made no excuses. They keep playing and they keep developing, and they're looking better and better. You saw moments of brilliance at times. Tajon Buchanan, Mark Anthony Kaye in there today, but you have a lot of talent on the Canadian side. Yeah, there's talent at every single level on the Canadian side, and this is kind of like one of those teams that you look at and you go, they're growing into their own as a federation, and the players are getting better and better, you know, over the years. And we talked about this Canada side and the two strikers that they had previously. Both of them have gone down injured. Now the question's going to be, with the two up top, when you have Cavallini in there and Guillet up top, can they score? Can they be clinical in front of the goal? Because they created multiple opportunities against the U.S., but couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. But outside of that, one of the players to really watch is that Tajon Buchanan on the wing. Can he continue to show some flair? And no Laren, he's going to be out the rest of the tournament. So 3 goals go with him in this 2021 Gold Cup. As you see the action brewing again, Junior Guillet moving it out. As Canada trying to find some space, looking for a little bit of room to work, switching sides, giving it up to Richie Laria. Laria, the man from Toronto. Out to Mark Anthony Kaye from LAFC. Ustaki. Good movement by Canada. 4 minutes in. That's still on. Come on, Miller. Now it's Jonathan Osorio. Leaving it to Laria. Laria getting pressure. Good defending there by Oscar Duarte, complicating things a little bit. Well, Canada's playing with that 3 in the back. 3-4-3 is kind of like what we're talking about. But the 3 up top, one will drop in and help overload in the midfield, and that's where they do the damage, is when they have a lot of energy, a lot of numbers in the central area of the field where they can combine, and they need to be able to do that very quickly, change the point of attack from one side to the other, because that's where they have a lot of their skill out wide, where they want to find the ball at the feet of a player like Buchanan. So throwing for Costa Rica. Joe Campbell just moving it quickly, switching sectors. To Ronald Matarrita to get this broom. Costa Rica on arrival. Not much happening after that. 5 minutes in, still 0-0 as we get started. Both teams kind of just jabbing each other and see what's on the other side. You see John Herdman, the man who's had to deal without Aquinola, without Laren. We mentioned Davies. It is 26th match as the head coach for Canada. In fact, he's had them humming. You saw the 20 wins, the 5 losses, and they came into that game against the United States peeling off 8 in a row. So they've been doing really well. Let's see if they can make something happen here as they've dominated most of the possession as we get going. It feels like the ball's been playing more on this side, on the Costa Rica side, but here come the Ticos. They thought they had something brewing there with Martinez as he was drifting forward with Campbell.
Yeah, we got a situation where both teams are really feeling each other out. Neither has really decided to apply a whole lot of pressure. I think that's one of the first times that we've seen Costa Rica really go to try to apply a pressure to that back line of Canada.
Costa Rica playing with fire slightly there. Francisco Calvo, the man from Chicago Fire, tried to get rid of it, couldn't do it. Leaving it up to Ronald Matarrita. Miller. Not finding any friends there as he was trying to connect with Richie Lariat. And now it's the counter opportunity for Martinez and Costa Rica. Can the Ticos make a pad? No. You saw Joaquin Venegas wanted to crack thunder from distance.
Well, it's getting energetic already off the bat. You're seeing a lot of players going to ground, doing some of that emergency defending right outside the box. It shows you the desperation defensively where you're caught out of position, but you're also willing to put your body on the line. You have to like it when you see a player like Lucas Cavallini tracking all the way back to the top of his 18 to make a tackle there on David Guzman. I mean, it just shows you when you have a striker willing to do that work, it inspires the rest of your side.
And that's what we've seen out of Canada. It's inspiring. They've been stepping up. You've heard no excuses. And you mentioned it at the top. And I know Rob and company in the studio, they talk about how Canada's just gaining confidence, trying to send the message that it's not just about the United States and Mexico, and then maybe Honduras or Costa Rica jump into the conversation before Canada. Canada wants to be part of that conversation as one of the top 3 dogs in the CONCACAF as you look at championships won for the Canadians in Gold Cup history. Canada moving. Junior Colette got this thing started. It was drifted right in front of Osorio, and then a shot was fired. And again, the interjection well defended by Costa Rica. Alvarado was ready and had all of his guys moving around as Mark Anthony Kay of LAFC was getting ready.
And I pay attention to the numbers that Canada is getting forward. You can count them. You see 5 and then 1 tracking in late. 6. That's the commitment that Canada has to get forward and be dangerous. As we see Mark Anthony Kay just trailing in behind and having his shot blocked.
Steven Eustaquio tried to deliver the corner.
That's got to be better.
Matarrita trying to make something happen ahead with Joe Campbell, now of Monterrey. Celso Borges, the captain, keeping possession. Pushing forward with Martinez and Campbell. Campbell lost it. Now it's Mark Anthony Kay channeling the energy to the other side, the right side, flowing up the coast.
It's interesting that we have a high line here.
Osorio delivers. Looking for Lucas Cavallini of the Vancouver Whitecaps. As we approach 10 minutes, that was the best opportunity for Canada so far.
Yeah, Cavallini, you know, he's a quality player. He loves getting service, you know, in the air, dangerous. I just think for Cavallini, it's one of those situations, there's a little bit of a mix-up. He was going to the near post, the ball gets chipped to the back post, so he has to try to make something really out of a very difficult ball off of that last play.
Canada looking for their first win against Costa Rica since 2007. In fact, just talking to people on both sides of Costa Rica and Canada, all of our journalist friends that cover it, it always feels like it's going to be a draw with these two. 4 out of the last 5 ended in a draw, 23 meetings total. Costa Rica leading the way, historically speaking. This is the 9th match in Gold Cup history between the two. 5 draws. Canada won in 2003, 2007. Costa Rica handled them in 2005. That's been it. Everything else, draw.
One thing for Costa Rica that's on their side is just the experience that they do have. And we have some names on this Costa Rican team that it feels like, Adrian, that we've heard forever. You know, when you're talking about some of their star players. I mean, you talk about Joel Campbell. I feel like he should be like 50 years old, that he's been around for so long. But you got Cecil Borges, you know, Johan Venegas, you know, those are just some names that seem like that they've been within this squad for quite some time. But that being said, they have the experience and know what needs to be done to win games and to play in these tournament situations.
Yeah, you talk about one of those players, the veteran leader, Brian Ruiz, 36 years old, not in the starting lineup, but he's given them life. He's been scoring. He's been feeling good, playing under Suarez. Well cleaned up by Oscar Duarte there from Levante. Again, Mark Anthony Kay of LAFC. Jair Marrufo is the man with the whistle. His first assistants, Frank Anderson. Catherine Nesbitt is the AR2, the 4th official, Armando Villarreal, all of them from the United States. And in the VAR running things, we have Barkari Gassama.
Yeah, and this is where Richie Laria has to do much better. He's out wide. He can see the whole line. He has to get himself in an onside position. He can't be coming back to the ball. One of the things that you want to do as a winger, you want to be in a wide position, a little bit deeper, and receiving the ball into space, so you're already running at the defender as you have the ball at your feet. Makes it so much more difficult to be defended.
And difficult to mark up on that man right there, Lucas Cavallini of the Vancouver Whitecaps. Pushing ahead, threatening, looking to deliver. And Tajon Buchanan is the man who channels that energy ahead, and well marked there by Ronald Matarrita, who's been busy, the man from FC Cincinnati. Been doing some work early inside of these 13 minutes on that side.
Well, there's going to be a lot asked of Ronald Matarrita when he has to match up against Tajon Buchanan, because they know that Buchanan's going to want to have the ball at his feet, that he's going to want to take players on 1v1. So expect Matarrita to be holding back a little bit more and playing on the defensive side more than he has in the past.
The delivery sent away by Borges. So 14 minutes in, still 0-0. Costa Rica, Canada, quarterfinals, Gold Cup 2021. Alongside Kobe Jones, I'm Adrian Garcia Marquez. Dr. Joe standing by in case we need to discuss something further, as we see Matarrita just extra aggressive. And that's what you're going to get when we talk about Costa Rica. And you mentioned the golden generation. You mentioned the style of play. That's what's kind of helped out Suarez. You know, having the veteran guys, that presence has helped the transition, and hence 3 wins. Especially considering that Suarez took over 2 weeks before the Gold Cup.
Oh, that's always a difficult situation, that you're taking over a team right before a tournament, you know, especially the premier tournament in your region. But, you know, he's got some veterans on that side that know what needs to be done. He's brought in, you know, the decision is from the head coach, so he brought in a lot of veteran leader that can help in that leadership department. So they're really finding ways to...
Then finding ways there, Martinez. I'm telling you, Been seeing this kid since Nations in Denver. Every opportunity, he's always on the hunt. Doesn't waste any time or energy. Something's always happening when Martinez is near a ball.
Well, this is just a nice ball over the top. What I like in this play is that Martinez gets in an onside position first. He makes sure he gives the effort to get back on the onside position and then starts to run once that ball is played. I can't tell you how many times, Adrian, that you see players just kind of walk back and basically keep themselves out of the play.
That's definitely something that we've seen. The hunger, the ganas. Set piece opportunity for the Canadians. Ouellet. Junior sends it in. Sent away, and an opportunity brewing for Costa Rica. Pura vida time. Can they make it pay? Lassiter was making that run there. He was looking to connect with Joe Campbell. And Martinez was waiting for the pass that never arrived.
I think it was just a little bit slow all the way around. Once that ball got up to Campbell, Campbell holds on to it too long. No movement off the ball, no decision being made, so it allows Canada to get back in some good defensive positions.
Cross, not completely sent away. Celso Borges, the veteran, knows what to do. The captain still with it, still battling, staying with it. Still found a way to get it to Lassiter. Lassiter was standing by. But that's Borges for him. The man's going to battle, the man's going to fight. That's why he's the Capitan. The man from Deportivo La Coruña.
It still has a little bit of a chaotic feel about it within this match. No one's really kind of establishing a rhythm, holding on to possession for long periods of time. It's kind of that back and forth, that kind of desperation on both sides to try to get into the opponent's attacking.
And an opportunity. At 17:30.
Well, this is exactly what you want if you are Canada, and this is what we're talking about. Seems like both teams are trying to test the back lines of the other, trying to be direct, and this direct ball over the top with the fantastically bent run from Ouellet. Times it perfect, catches Alvarado in just a poor position. He gets caught on his line, waits too long to come out. Ouellet just puts it over the top and just times it perfectly, gets the goal, and Canada goes up 1-0.
5-star service from Eustaquio. Getting that ball there, and the rest was Ouellet.
Well, that's one of the players that Canada was missing against the United States. You know that he can score goals. He can also give the service, and we see this ball was just perfectly positioned. And look, I give credit on the service from Eustaquio, the goal, just the touch from Ouellet and the run. But for me, just slow recognition from Alvarado. Slow on coming out. He gets caught in between in that no man's land that no keeper wants to be in. And I think that's going to be, you know, a mistake put on his part. And now the rest of his team, they're going to have to find a way to get back into this.
Junior Ouellet showing up like if it was Facebook status, unattached.
Still looking. So I have a feeling continues to play the way he's playing. He's going to find a team pretty quickly.
Yeah. In a relationship quickly. Let's see if Costa Rica. That's right. It's complicated. Now Costa Rica trying to complicate things with Martinez. Give me that. Good work there by Lowry. Dancing around. Ticos take it right back. Borges and Fuller can't connect. Throw in for the Canadians. Herdman's happy.
Well, one of the questions beforehand was who was going to step up and score for Canada, since they were missing a couple of their star players with Akinola out and Laren out. Well, Ouellet doing exactly what he needs to do. And that's important to remember, is that when you're called upon, can you answer? You can see some of the players, all those goals that are combined.
42.
That's
missing. 42 MIA.
42 goals not available.
That's right.
But this is what the Federation, the Canadian Federation wants, right? And this is the perfect example. Just a nice play. Just putting that over the top. You want to have your roster deep. You want to have it deep, and you want your national team to be deep, not just 18, 20. You want it to be 40 or 40 to 50 players that whoever's hot at the moment you can call upon to play in the games, or even just call upon to be in the camps.
Yep. Where it becomes something of controversy, which that's what happens with Mexico. With El Tri, there are guys that should be, and you'll argue with people all day long, but Córdoba should be on the big team, not the Olympic. Those you can go all day long talking about certain players that people feel belong on the senior side, and that's what Canada wants. That's a good luxury to have. Now another delivery, looking for Tejan Buchanan, and then the shot was fired, and the chance was there, and it was so close. Victoria, the captain for Canada, also firing off the shot, the man from Moreirense.
Take a look at this. It's just a challenge in there, and Victoria, I mean, he does well just to connect because he's backing up a little bit just to position his body right to get the shot off. He hits it cleanly, but it is a decent save, a touch. Alvarado to send it over the top.
The delivery. Keisher Fuller chasing it down on his full run. Ouellet battles, but it will be a throw-in for Costa Rica. Costa Rica finished at the top of the group. 3 wins, as we mentioned. And that's 12 in a row for Pura Vida, making it to quarterfinals in Copa. You can always count on their presence. Make no excuses. They battle and they play football. And obviously, Kobe, there is a lot of talk, you know, with Moreira, Leonel Moreira getting suspended, him missing, and that lack of experience. A guy like Moreira might have made a different decision or taken a different route to that ball. Well, it might not have that goal, but the lack of experience there might have eaten up Alvarado a little bit, and there's your 1-0 Canada. Here's a chance for Costa Rica. Disappeared.
Well, that's the second time that Canada stops an attack. It looks like they're going to break out with the hold up from Cavallini, but then the tactical foul comes in. I'm interested to see that if the referee is noticing this, that if this continues on, we're going to see a card come out.
Canadians still applying more pressure. Marc-Anthony Kaye coming in to help. Ouellet, and now Larry. To stuck to Marc-Anthony Kaye, looking to deliver a nice ball. Good intention. Not the direction he wanted to go, right into Alvarado's arms. Feels good, no? To feel and hear that buzz of fans in the stands, Kobe Jones.
I tell you, Adrian, it's a nice feeling just to have the crowds, you know, be around, that fans can be in the stadium, just to get the energy, just to feel the energy of the crowds is so important for the players.
I mean, you look at that energy that, you know, Costa Rica, Honduras, the teams that participated obviously there at Nations, but the energy in that Mexico-USA game at Mile High was absolutely electric. And we're getting back to that little by little. Electricidad. Borges trying to get electric there, 24 minutes in. Ball stopped by Jair Marrufo. 1-0 Canada, thanks to the author, Junior Ouellet. Too deep for Joe Campbell. The frustration setting in for the Ticos.
Well, it's just poor communication between the two, between Guzman and Campbell. Campbell is on, I don't think Campbell was paying attention, and I think Guzman just hits it way too hard. He's got to play it to feet to allow Campbell to be able to turn and go to goal. Just plays it too heavy and out of bounds.
Canada's won 8 of their last 9 matches. The only loss, their last one against the United States. Giving up that early goal 20 seconds in, but they still battled, showed you personality. Or just stayed there crossing their arms. They fired out 14, 15 shots to no avail in the end. Celso Borges sweeping legs. The United States versus Jamaica later on FS1, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Pacific. Kobe, give me your prediction.
U.S.
You know I want to put you on the spot, Kobe.
Oh, you heard me, right? I said the U.S. is going to win. Come on.
Okay. I was going to say it. All right, so you're thinking about it? Were we calculating?
No. I guess you just didn't hear me while you were asking the question. That came out quick, maybe too quick for you.
Yes. They try to be quick. Joe Campbell, the man from Monterrey, pumping brakes, breaking ankles, staying with it. Now it's Celso Borges helping out. Marufo. Whistle favoring Costa Rica.
Some nice moves from Joel Campbell. Tight space, 3-4 players on him, electing to hold on to the ball, and does a little dance. But when you get 3 or 4 players around you, someone's going to take exception to that and come in a little bit hard, as we saw there.
I know in your day you frustrated many defenders, and they would come full leña on you, dropping wood, huh?
Or at least try to.
There you go. They attempted it. Lassiter was attempting to do a little something there. Couldn't. Canada says thank you. But giving it right back now, Keisha Fuller. Just follow this up. 27 minutes, 1-0 Canada. Thanks to Junior Ouellet, the unattached, but not for long. Complicated status. Junior Ouellet.
I'm really surprised to see that Canada really hasn't settled into the game yet. You would think with being up a goal that they could get possession of the ball, hold on to it a little bit, and start combining, just picking and choosing where they want to attack. You've got to be able to get the ball to Tajon Buchanan's feet a bit more than you have.
You ask and you shall receive. Buchanan and the Canadians moving forward again. Jonathan Osorio back to Mark Anthony Kay. Buchanan. Ouellet took a shot favoring the Canadians, and that was courtesy of Johan Venegas, the man from Alajuelense, getting a little frustrated.
See just a little bit of dancing going in there. The goal scorer Ouellet gets taken down. Vegas being a little bit aggressive. This gives Canada an opportunity to send some of those big trees out of the back four. They've looked dangerous on a couple set pieces. At the tail end of set pieces on the second balls.
Ouellet delivers. Sent away. Buchanan, the man from New England. Third-year Rev. 8 caps now. Eustachio and Johnston. Kamal Miller. Out to Buchanan. Well marked and well aware was Oscar Duarte of his presence. So we're approaching the 30-minute mark. 1-0 Canada. Quarterfinals, Gold Cup 2021 on Fox Sports. Alongside the American legend, Kobe Jones, I'm Adrian Garcia Marquez. Pleasure to be with you. This beautiful day for the beautiful game, Kobe.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'd like it to be a little bit more beautiful here as both sides are playing a little bit kickball. No one's really grabbing hold of it and just keeping possession, combining with passes.
Well, let's see if something changes here. As you saw, Johan Venegas get into his run and then gets taken down. Color him back. See it again. Remix.
Yeah, that's a heavy touch. And
I don't know. Do you think Vitoria?
No, Vitoria comes out, wins the ball, but it's the follow through, the straight leg showing the studs and connects where that card is given.
So Vitoria now getting booked here. If Canada moves on, he's not going to be able to participate in the semi. Dangerous ball. Costa Rica looking for the equalizer. Not going to happen there.
Yeah, so Vitoria is out, and this is just part of the issues. Just seeing a player of his quality being out in the next match. You know, already, this is what we talked about, where I've talked earlier. You want to have depth at every position. So there we see it with Vitoria. Second yellow. And that's what people, I know everyone's talking about during the group stage. And is it to the group stage? No, it's after the quarterfinals is when everything resets. So players pick up that second yellow throughout all these matches. They're sitting and missing the semis.
And not missing that one in the opportunity. Come on, Miller. Just making sure that Costa Rica didn't make something happen there. Keisher Fuller with a throw-in. Ticos looking for their goal. A lot of disconnections. Once they get into this final third, if you will, there's just one key pass missing so far for Costa Rica. They're moving it. They're doing. You can tell that they're starting to find some space, Kobe, but they just can't quite connect up top. Let's see if this happens for Lassiter. There you go again. No connection with Lassiter on this one.
Well, it's a lot of long balls going over the top, and a lot of them are being cut out. A lot are, challenged. So it's, the second ball battle. So here's another example. The ball just going up into the air. There's a challenge, and then the other team picks it up and wins it. And now we have it going back the other way. So it's back and forth, back and forth. No one's really settling down and having control of the midfield.
He said, like you mentioned, kickball. It's kind of like PE soccer. You know how in sixth period where they have the jocks play with everybody else, and all of a sudden just the other side they keep booting. You can't even get into the game. You can't play. They just keep booting it out. But the Cholo named Spooky, he just boots it. He doesn't care. He just wants to pass the class. Let's see what happens here for Canada. That's Tejan Buchanan. Try to get around Ronald Matarrita. That's been a lot tougher for him inside of these 33 minutes. Matarrita's all over the man from New England. Costa Rica moving with a little bit more purpose. And then this. It seems to be the case so far. Willett takes that ball. Now it's Mark Anthony Kaye looking to deliver. Was trying to cross. And the choppiness continues. You're right, Kobe. There's no elegance so far.
Now you want to see one of the teams really start to establish a rhythm. I think that's going to be one of the keys for both coaches once they get into halftime. Really think who can possibly come in as a substitute later on in the game, or how can we tactically change how we're set up to allow us to actually combine a little bit more. Because it is a lot of long ball and just trying to force it down to one side.
Well, Steven Eustachio already delivered a goal with an excellent service to Junior Willett. Will he do it again here? Opportunity for the Canadians. But Steven Vitoria couldn't do much with that one. Again, it's Monterrita just putting that body on him to make him uncomfortable and not able to drive that head through it. Now, so far inside of 35 minutes, have you seen the Tajon Buchanan you were expecting, or is he still trying to find his way out there?
I have not seen the Tajon Buchanan that we saw against the United States. He hasn't been a participant in this match so far. He's only been playing defense, you know, for quite some time now. I think maybe that's due to the fact that he's got Monterrita in front of him, and he's doing a good job defensively.
Joe Campbell was doing a good job moving forward until he ran into Richie Laria from Toronto.
That's Joel Campbell with the step over. Tries to goes by one, tries to go by two, but Laria just, you know, cuts the angle, does a good job, gets his defensive position, puts himself between the attacker and the ball, and all Joel Campbell can do is really just try to do that. A little secret that all the strikers try to do, the little trip, you know, just kind of do a little click to the back heel of the defender, see if you can make something happen, make him go down.
Now let's see if Ariel Lassiter can make something happen. So far, if Buchanan has left a little bit to be desired inside of these 36 minutes, maybe Ariel Lassiter on the other side.
I'd say it's the same thing. We haven't seen a whole lot from Ariel Lassiter either. There hasn't been a lot of wing play, bringing the wingers into the match, and I think that's been part of it. As we see with both teams, a lot of the more skilled players have been in the wing positions, and they haven't been involved in the game too much.
Fuller and Guzman. Campbell nearby, goes to Joe Campbell. Campbell complaining about the contact, finally gets the whistle from Jair Marrujo. Canada, Costa Rica first danced back in 1985. First time ever they saw each other, looked into each other's eyes. Where were you in 1985, Kobe?
Man, I was chilling in high school. Probably going to a weekend soccer tournament somewhere.
Anyway, so days Lucas Cavallini getting booked as well. Color him bad. So he's also going to be out of the semifinals. So Canada, you're right. Now we're going to talk about the depth. Do they have enough? Now Vitoria and Cavallini both being booked with yellows.
Yeah, well, both of them are going to be out. Mexico's probably hoping that they see Canada with those two players out.
I can hear, muy bien, muy bien. You know it.
But I think, you know, we can talk about that they'll miss the next match. But first off, Canada has to win this one.
That's right.
You know, there's still a team in front of them in Costa Rica that isn't just going to let them waltz right into the final. So they can worry about that later. We can worry about that later. And I'm sure Costa Rica is trying to figure out how do we get more dangerous getting into the attacking third of the field, because they haven't really tested Canada too much.
Good ball for Tajon Buchanan, who was on the run. Junior Ouellet set him up nicely. Now he's trying to set somebody. Crosser net. No one to answer. Two whiffs. Eustaquio had the best opportunity. Couldn't close it.
There it is. That's what we want to see from Tajon Buchanan when he's picking up the ball. He goes, he attacks, he takes on two defenders, gets the ball into the box, into a dangerous position. Now we're seeing a little bit more connection. Even on the play going from end to end, it seems to be, if it continues like this, it's going to be more free-flowing. Let's put it that way.
And Marrufo's going to start getting busier. We saw Miller and Campbell. That's not the first tangle. They've gone at it at least 3 or 4 times so far inside of 39 minutes. We saw Miller coming in there, giving that little push, little extra. So definitely going to be a little bit more fire as we move forward. Costa Rica looking for the equalizer. They won all 3 of their games in the group phase. Brian Ruiz gave him that victory in that last one against Jamaica. That was his 4th goal. He's not starting, the 36-year-old. Celso Borges has a couple of them. Joe Campbell has a couple of them. But they can't find anything so far. After 40 minutes, still 1-0 Canada.
Canada so far, they've been looking for Vitoria.
Eustachio was looking exactly in that direction. Looking for Vitoria, and that ball gets pushed out. Throw in for the Canadians. And it's Osorio. Oh, it was Osorio. Rita taking it. Now here's a chance for Ariel Lassiter. Couldn't speed up to catch up to that. Vitoria made sure of it. Good work by Wallet. Even Osorio keeping it going, and now it's Laria. Back to Wallet. Intervention by the Tico defenders. Stuck. Keeping possession, Wallet. Trying to set this one up for Laria. Laria staying with it. Laria pushing through Fuller. And it will be a corner for the Canadians, thanks to Duarte pushing it out.
And this is much better by Canada when they're attacking. They get the ball into the box. The ball comes out. They're first to it. The LAFC man, Marc-Anthony Kaye, winning the ball right away, getting the pass in quickly. So the second wave of the attack can come forward. That's what it needs to be a little bit more of in the defensive midfield area for Canada. Kaye, Eustachio need to pick up those second balls to just continue the attack.
Eustachio dialing up a couple of heads. Punched out by Alvarado. Left hand. Lassiter just clears it. Looking for Campbell. What?
Okay, both showing a little bit of skill there.
Yeah.
Not sure he meant to do all of that, but that's okay. The fans
He's got to tell his friends he did it. That was all me, baby. Buchanan. Orlet. Driving through traffic. Good battle by Osorio to keep that. Osorio staying with it, looking for space. He finds it, and he finds Laria. Laria looking to filter it through. He does, and it's Marc-Anthony Kaye trying to turn around and fire it up. But in the end, nothing.
Well, we got some dancing going on now from some of the Canadian players. 2 or 3 between Osorio, Laria, and then Kaye decides to get in on the action coming forward, just like maybe a little bit of a missed touch, but falling backwards, gets connection with it, tries to get it on target, but it just goes up and over. But you're seeing those late runs from Kaye coming into dangerous areas is what's needed to continue that attack for Canada. You're starting to see over these last few minutes, Canada just being more and more of the aggressors, picking up more and more of the play by their aggressiveness around the ball.
One nothing Canada, thanks to Junior Wallet. On an excellent delivery by Steven Eustachio. Alistair Johnson with that throw-in. Tajon Buchanan pushed it right back to Costa Rica. Marc-Anthony Kaye says, here, let's try it again. He can't get through that thorn on the side of the Canadians named Ronald Maltarrita, but Tajon says, hold on. I'll get rid of him. Staying with it, looking for friends. Marc-Anthony Kaye nearby. Tajon breaks through. Tajon! Leigh Marufo. He says no, play on.
Marufo waved him off. He didn't like that from Tajon Buchanan. Thought that he dove.
Go here, easier right here.
Richie Laria battling Martinez. See this again.
Let's see the look. Look, there's an arm on the shoulder. And there's contact down below at the leg. You know, for me, I think that's a foul. It impedes his progress going towards the ball where it's a dangerous position where he's chasing the ball in the box right outside the 18. I think Costa Rica got fortunate that that was a no call.
In that moment, no, the instinct also, if Tajon maybe stays with it, doesn't try to get the call, he might have just been able to run and pump it through. He's got the skills, got the speed, got the power. But he tried to play Marrufo. That's what Marrufo Dikembe Mutombo. I'm saying, oh, no. Nope, not happening. So we're going to get 1 extra minute of stoppage time. That's going to do it. Canada 1, Costa Rica none. They started picking up in the last 15 minutes, the Canadians. Have been doing a lot better, keeping that possession. Better ideas. Better flow. Cavallini did everything he could to make that happen, and then the effort by Osorio to cross it didn't work out. Stacchio lost his balance, and that's going to do it. After 46 minutes, 1-0 Canada, thanks to Junior Wallet on a service by Steven Eustachio. We come back, we're going to head right to the studio. We're going to talk about this, break it down, and then we'll see what to expect in the next 45.
And Adrian Garcia Marquez.
Thank you, Rob, Mo, Alexi, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in this Gold Cup action. Quarterfinals, Canada, Costa Rica, the Canadians, Kobe Jones. And I agree with Alexi. You know, we did see a lot better out of Canada, especially in those last 15 minutes. They started to take over the game a little bit, what you were asking for, a little bit more Tajon involvement. You saw it. But more than anything else, it's been this man right here, Junior Wallet. If it's activating the attack, closing it out with that goal, he's been there. He's been doing a lot. Let's see what he can also deliver in the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's done what he's supposed to do. As a striker, number one is what? Score goals, right? And he did that. He's put the ball in the back of the net. So there's step one. Now it's about Canada as a team to continue along to improve within this match, to get better and better, not to have any letdowns. Can you see a game out? They are in the driver's seat. They're winning this match. The clock is on their side. They got 45 minutes to go. Can they figure out a way to be a mature team and hold with a 1-0 minimum victory?
And that's what we're about to find out. We're getting ready. The next 45 minutes are up. Jair Marrufo, the man with the whistle, getting ready here at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Let's press play. Alongside the American legend, Kobe Jones, I'm Adrian Garcia Marquez. Quarterfinal action. Costa Rica, Canada. So Ariel Lassiter out. And Jose Ortiz in for him. Martinez out. Luis Diaz in, the man from Columbus Crew. So we'll see if those two changes pay off for Suarez. And as far as other adjustments, this was to be expected. The leading goal scorer, the man, the legend, 36-year-old Brian Ruiz, gets into the mix as well. So we'll see if that makes changes, or those changes make any difference, I should say, Kobe, for Costa Rica, a team that won all 3 of their games in the group stage, and now they're going to be asked, like you said, to step it up against a Canadian side showing a lot of talent, a lot of hunger, a lot of aggressiveness. But we'll see if the experience pays off for the Ticos and Pura Vida. Diaz.
Well, I think, look, 3 substitutions, right at halftime. That's telling you that Luis Fernando Suarez understands that it was not good enough for his side in that first half. He wasn't happy with that, so he's making the substitutions to get a little bit more energy, and especially, I believe, with Ruiz in there, someone that can hold on to the ball a little bit with some experience and help with the play.
Celso Borges. That was a little push. Alistair Johnson was all over his mark. Luis Diaz was trying to sell it. Nobody bought. Calvo with the boot. Calvo from Chicago Fire settled in with Borges. Now it's Diaz, the man from Columbus, has his crew working. Brian Ruiz. Chance for Tajon Buchanan from the New England Revolution. If he can get past Matarrita, he does. But Calvo came in to save the day right on time, Kobe.
What an excellent play by Matarrita. Watch the tracking back defensively, and you can see him at a full sprint. He gets himself in a decent enough position not to foul, where he could possibly, go down. Buchanan could possibly go down for a penalty or a dangerous shot just outside the 18, but Matarrita gets in there shoulder to shoulder, just bumps him off of his stride. So maybe Matarrita doesn't make it, but Calvo's able to catch and then make that tackle. That is so important. Just those little things as a professional you got to learn. You don't always have to make the tackle if you can make it difficult enough and your teammate can come in and support.
Eustáquio with the 6th corner for Canada. Was looking for Tajon Buchanan. Had bad intentions there, but the ball gets cleared out. Now the Tico's on the move. Well done by Osorio. Ruiz, 36 years old.
At 36 years old in that central area, and he's a playmaker. He's a good passer of the ball. I think that's really going to help Costa Rica in this second half.
This whistle will favor the Canadians, frustrating Brian Ruiz. 131 caps, 27 goals, wearing the Costa Rica jersey.
I think Mark-Anthony Kaye got bailed out on that one. I think he slips to the ground. And that was a fair play by Costa Rica, but Jair Marufo ends up blowing the whistle. Of another note, there has been a tactical change along with the substitutions for Costa Rica, where you see Joel Campbell, instead of being central now, he has moved out to that right wing position. Jose Ortiz has moved into the central position as the striker. That's really just going to give a lot of energy chasing the ball, all over the field. When it goes back to the keeper, when it goes to one of the center backs, his job is to chase, allowing Campbell to get into that comfortable position at the right wing.
Ball delivered into the box for the Canadians. Saw Lucas Cavallini give it a good effort. Now it's Mark-Anthony Kaye, who almost came up with some brilliance in the first 45 minutes. Couldn't quite finish it there. Ruiz asking for the handball. Marufo says no, play on. Osorio listens. Moves it out to Richie Laria. Again, it's Osorio and Laria. Pressured by Campbell. Osorio turns around. Mark-Anthony Kaye tried to keep possession, gave it right back to the Ticos. Costa Rica patiently trying to break forward, not forcing it. Kaye should fool it. Out to Celso Borges. Borges setting up Fuller. Fuller gets sent away. Come on, Miller. Make sure to delete him there with a lot of contact at 50 minutes. Marufo says slow down.
There's a little bit of a late whistle for me. He's going to make this call. I think it's fair to make that call just coming in after the fact. Miller comes in, makes the contact. But already for me, Costa Rica's just looking a little bit smoother in their play and looking more dangerous and threatening going forward, because you have runs off the ball and you have a passer in Ruiz, Brian Ruiz, that is getting the ball into the right places.
Delivered for the Ticos. Crepo. Come on, Miller. Good ball up ahead to Osorio. Ouellet nearby. Eustaquio coming in to help. Mark Anthony Kay couldn't secure it. Gave it right back to the Ticos. Luis Diaz. Diaz trying to break through two defenders. Almost got past Alistair Johnson. Tajon Buchanan coming in to help out. Celso Borges says, give me that. Now it's Campbell on the other side. Campbell pumping brakes, trying to cut through. And you talked about the turf, Kobe. That jumped out at you from the beginning, from when you first started to look at the images live from AT&T. You were kind of worried about this type of stuff happening possibly on, when guys are trying to like settle in, break it back, do something. Not very true as far as the ground, no?
Yeah, look, the turf can always be an issue. It looks like it's freshly laid, but for me, off of that play, Laria just comes in and just gives it a little bit of a whack as Joel Campbell is just showing his skill set where he's able to stop on a dime, to try to get beyond you. And Laria just does a tactical foul, really, not to get beat, behind. And now set piece for Costa Rica.
Campbell delivers. Crepon with his left hand just pushes it out. The man from Vancouver Whitecaps measured this one nicely.
Yeah, Crepon does a good job of making sure that one goes beyond, because that might have been a cross, but it was also a shot.
Another delivery for the Ticos. Buchanan beats Campbell to it just to get rid of it. Past that touchline, throw in for Campbell and Costa Rica. You get the sense, no, that Suarez's side is applying a little bit more pressure, trying to make something happen and find that equalizer. And that also has to do with the presence of that man right there, Brian Ruiz. Yeah,
the changes have helped Costa Rica going forward. You can see that they have a lot more possession within this match, being able to hold on to the ball. They're getting numbers forward. Take a look at this. You have Guzman into an offensive position, stepping up a little bit higher. And this is what's going to happen in the second half in a knockout game. You got to take chances. You have to take risks. So you're going to start pushing numbers forward. The question is, can Canada take advantage on the flip side? And see a look at that save off of the cross shot that somehow seems like it was sneaking into that far post.
Almost got him. So Junior Ouellet, the only goal. All that's needed so far for the Canadians. They've been controlling the game overall ever since. Ticos looking to make something happen here, and it's Brian Ruiz. Joel Campbell. Celso Borges. And Canada's done a good job of just closing out those spaces when Costa Rica starting to get ideas to brew an attack. Things start tightening up.
Defensively, Canada's done a good job of just dropping back deep into those blocks to make sure that the passing lanes are shut down. And they're swarming centrally. Look between Osorio, Eustaquio. They have made sure that centrally it's very difficult for Costa Rica to hold the ball for more than one or two passes. And so they're pushing everything wide and making it predictable going forward.
Tajon Buchanan. Tajon Buchanan tries to fire off a shot, and again, that man right there, Ronald Matarrita. Tajon's going to look under his bed tonight, and Matarrita's going to be under there.
Well, Matarrita is everywhere that Buchanan goes, and that's his job, that's his duty, and he's done a pretty good job so far. As Buchanan's looking to take this shot, you can see it's not only Matarrita, but it's also Guzman coming from that central position to give a little defensive support to shut down whenever Buchanan has the ball. Because you know that he likes to take players on, but he'll also tuck inside as well to try to get a shot off.
Steven Eustaquio. Junior Ouellet. Eustaquio, one-time delivery, crosses it nicely. But Brian Ruiz was right there at the precise moment. Good ball by Eustaquio, setting this up for Laria. Laria trying to deliver it to Cavallini. Well defended by the Ticos again.
little miscommunication, I think, between Laria and I believe it was Cavallini. Cavallini was hoping for a ball in the air near the penalty spot, while Laria just chipped it to that near post. So they're a little bit off there. They can get connected. As Costa Rica's pushing numbers forward, they can create some opportunities to go to goal.
Eustachio keeping possession for the Canadians with Marc-Anthony Kaye. They give it right back to Costa Rica. 1-0 as we approach the 60-minute mark. Canada 1, Costa Rica none. Action starting to brew. The possession starting to see kind of even out a little bit more. Canadians had taken complete control in the last 15 minutes of the first half, maybe started off in those first 5. But Costa Rica, with these changes, as you've mentioned, Kobe, they've been getting better. They've been flowing a little bit nicer. Let's see if it happens here. There's still some disconnecting there, as you saw with Ruiz. Now a chance for Junior Willett again. Willett fires the shot. This time Esteban Alvarado was ready. Keisher full.
Willett just elects to try to tee it up and test Alvarado. Alvarado does a good job of just making sure hands are steady, hands are stiff, and just, you know, pushes that ball away. You're going to see a lot more direct attack from Canada as Costa Rica starts to send more numbers forward. They send some of the players out of the middle. They send some players out of the outside backs. So you'll see some space that can be attacked into where Willett, as long as he's in there, can just run into and find some space to work. This is where Costa Rica just needs to move the ball a little bit quicker.
Ruiz and Celso Borges giving it right back to the Canadians, and then Eustachio returned the favor. Thought he had an opportunity there. Campbell was nearby, but neither guy ended up with the ball.
As we're in the 60th minute, Adrian, this is where you got to start wondering, how is all the games before going to start affecting the players? You know, just as we go through the group stage, it's a lot of games in a short period of time, and we're looking at Costa Rica and Canada. Yes, there's more days in between the last game and this, but Canada's had 2 days extra of rest in comparison. So I wonder to see if that's going to have some type of effect as we get into that 70th and 80th minute of this match.
See, Luis Diaz was trying to dance around. Eustachio wasn't having it, pushed it out, gave it a chase, and still it's going to be Canada's ball. Junior Willett trying to get by Calvo, couldn't do it. The man from Chicago Fire put out that little fire there.
Whenever Costa Rica plays the 1 and 2 touch, they get out so easily. If they can do more of that, they'll be able to change the point of attack and just consistently create attacks.
Again, another long ball attempt, another long pass, and a disconnection in the end. 61 minutes, 1-0 Canada, thanks to that man right there, Junior Willett. He's kind of holding that right ankle. It feels a little tender after this.
This could be an issue for Canada, just depending on how Willett is feeling. They've already lost 2 strikers. They've got Willett coming into that striker position where a lot of the onus is on him to step up and have a quality game and be that striker. I know that Kesho Akindele has been one of the players that has been brought in, the Orlando City man.
And that's going to do it for the author of the goal. See the remix of the goal by Junior Willett, and the service from the man right there in the background in the shadows. Excellence from Eustaquio to set it up.
Yeah, not bad at all from Willett. Just willing to sacrifice his body, knowing that he's going to be taken out by the keeper to try to get that goal.
We'll see if Costa Rica kind of just starts to add a little bit more energy to this game. 62 minutes in this quarterfinal for Gold Cup. Canada, Costa Rica, and Willett understands the magnitude of this, knowing that the prize is Mexico. If you get past Costa Rica, he's not having it. He's still out there. He doesn't want to come out. Francisco Calvo. Then is Brian Ruiz. Play on, says Jair Marufo. Willett. Guzman applying the pressure, drops it. You know, one of the things that the players for Costa Rica, in particular Brian Ruiz, had been talking about, he understands that there was a lot of criticism after Nations. There was a lot of criticism going into Gold Cup. A lot of criticism directed at him for being an older player, not being the same guy, not delivering the same way. And he says, hey, I'm 36. You know, our roles are changing. Things happen. But these aren't excuses for us. We're in a transition as far as talent, generation, you name it. We're just going to do what Suarez wants us to do and play within our means and the roster and the talent that is on this roster, and that's what they've been doing. That's how they were able to reel off the 3 wins, and that's why Costa Rica is confident that they will find the equalizer sooner rather than later, but they need to make something happen quick. At 65, here's a chance for Cavallini in Canada. Cavallini. Marked by Calvo, helped out by Fuller. And this will be a corner for the Canadians.
Well, this whole play was that exactly what we were talking about. As the outside backs get forward for Costa Rica, there's going to be space. You win the ball, and Marc-Anthony Kaye just elects to put the ball into that outside channel, and Cavallini's just first to it. There's going to be a lot more of that as the game goes on, as Costa Rica has to take risks. They have to take chances and have to try to get more numbers into the midfield to overload it, and then into the attacking area to overload that.
65 minutes and another corner for the Canadians, and punched out. Well done by Esteban Alvarado. And yet Canada end up with the ball again. Eustaquio's been busy tonight, delivering to Tajon Buchanan. And Fuller coming in from the other side of the field to mark this up. See a change being made. It looks like that's going to do it for David Guzman, the man from Saprissa. And in for him is Alan Cruz from FC Cincinnati. Saw the attempt there from Jose Guillermo Ortiz, trying to get involved. He looks outmatched so far. Monterrita has been up to the task, as Tajon Buchanan has been getting frustrated by him. 66 minutes, still 1-0 Canada.
That's a lot of searching balls coming out of the back from Costa Rica.
Eustaquio. Set this up for Osorio. Osorio was looking to give it right back. Just cleared. Now it's Mark Anthony Kaye.
A lot of the attack for Canada coming down this left flank, and the crosses are coming in, but no one's getting to that near post space.
Eustachio keeping possession with Mark Anthony Kaye. Wants to set this up. And he does for Richie Laria. Canada on approach. The delivery. Still bouncing around. Osorio couldn't control that one to fire. Borges looking to clear it. Ruiz couldn't do it. Eustachio gives it a shot.
Eustachio's looking to be very active over these last few minutes. Here's a look at the clearance, and Kaye just being aggressive, trying to win the ball right away. And this shot from Eustachio, he connects with it, can't get it on target. There's a lot of traffic. He just cuts it too much where it just goes beyond that near post.
Uh-oh. Chance. Bruce. Goal. Goal. Eustachio. 68 minutes in. Come a little bit closer. Hear what I have to say. Just like children sleeping, we could dream the night away. That was Neil Young, a Canadian. That was Canada with the goal. 2-0 on Costa Rica at 68. Kobe Jones.
Well, I think Canada, every fan, all the players on the field, and the coaching staff have to be happy with this one. This is just a little bit of a mistake, a rebound. It actually goes off of Calvo right into the path of Eustachio. And look, Ouellet was trying to get it there. It gets there somehow, some way. And then Eustachio just a side pass right between the legs of Alvarado. And there it is. There's the joy. You gotta love that. You gotta say, just about signing the ticket through to the next round. What you have to like is now you see that Canada has managed the 1-0. They put on the second goal. Now they go into the next stage in this match. Can they see it out? Can they see the rest of this match through? There's only about 20 minutes left.
And the Canadians looking to secure their 9th win in the last 10 games. So there are changes. Ouellet is out finally. So Piet in for Mark Anthony Kaye. Getting those changes. And Tesha Kindeli also into the mix for the Canadians after that adjustment. So it's 2-0 Canada. So Piet already getting involved and looking to get the other man, Tesha Kindeli, involved, the man from Orlando City. They both just stepped onto the pitch, and immediately they almost create a dangerous opportunity for the Canadians looking to make it 3-0. Well,
that's what you're supposed to do, right? if you're a substitution coming in, you got to have an effect on the game. There's no point in coming in the game and just going with the flow. If you can affect the game, you're doing your job as a sub.
Pressure's on the Ticos. Won all 3 of their games in the group stage. Came in as a 1. And that's all going out the window. And you can also kind of feel the vibe for the upcoming matchup. You're getting the feel. Mexico's on the horizon for the Canadians. You even heard a grito, no? I know you heard that, Kobe. That's why you're smiling. Dejan Buchanan, Steven Eustachio. Eustachio, without a doubt, for my money, after 70 minutes, has been the best Canadian player. He's made a lot of stuff happen. Obviously, Ouellet was very, very good also. But this man right here, I think he's been the key. The man from Paxos de Ferreira.
Yeah, he's the talisman for Canada, and you have to remember that he did not play in the game against the United States. He was out of that match, and he's very active in this game. He's a goal scorer, as we've seen, and he's a creator. So he's one of those key players. If he's not on the field, it's a different Canadian side.
You know, I've been meaning to ask you this now that we're at 2-0, and the pressure is definitely on Costa Rica, but I have to get this question out. You're starting to see a lot of American-born players representing other nations. Like it's more, you're seeing it more and more. Just want to get your thoughts on that. Are guys just slipping through the cracks, Kobe? Is there lack of scouting maybe that guys are slipping through those cracks? Or is it the actual players that decide, you know what, I have love for the nation that my parents came from. I'm set on playing there. What do you think's been happening?
I'll make it easy for you. It's all of that, what you said, but there's also something that you haven't put in there, is that it's getting more and more difficult to play for the U.S. national team.
Tayshaun Buchanan, hold that thought. Let's see what he does here. The man from New England Revolution tries to step on it, sets it up! Left it nicely. Dropped it off for Tesho Akindele to light it up. And he couldn't do it.
Look at Tayshaun Buchanan, give an example of what he can do. He helps steal the ball there, then cuts through two defenders, then the back heel with the recognition that he has Tesho Akindele following him behind, and Akindele steps through. Has a good look at this. It bounces a little bit funny, but that's no excuse. He has a good connection, but just can't squeeze it by that near post. He's got to get it on target from there, Adrian. Has to be on target. But let me go back to your question. And we talk about that the U.S. is getting better, so I feel that more and more players are feeling that it may be difficult to get on the U.S. squad, and they want the opportunity to play internationally. So some of those players are also looking, well, if I can't be on the U.S. squad and play a lot, I'll go somewhere else where I can get some time.
Diaz. He's thinking that he was going to be able to create the attack. Eustaquio did not allow it. Now it's Tayshaun Buchanan one more time, stepping on it real quick, trying to move forward. And gets fouled. A lot of contact there from Alan Cruz, the man from FC Cincinnati. That's a great point, Kobe. You're right. The talent level has risen, but there will be, you know, obviously there are going to be comparisons, and certain players, like I'll give you the Funes Mori brothers. Maybe they were born in Argentina, but they were going to high school and junior high in Dallas, here in this city, as a matter of fact, in the Arlington area. And those guys slipped through the cracks. And they wanted to play for Team USA. Here's the ball delivered, sent away. Another chance for Osorio. So you see, I guess my point is, like, if I had to choose between Rogelio Funes Mori or Josh Sargent, I might take a Funes Mori. Just,
yeah, look, we could. Everyone's
always
going to have their personal preference,
correct?
You know, to what they want, and there will always be exceptions to the rule. There will always be those that slip through the cracks. You know, I'm the perfect example. I didn't play the international or the on the national teams until, you know, past college. College got me through into that whole arena. I didn't do anything at a youth age, so that will always happen. It's about, can we just open it up to more and try to get more people out recognizing the talent in various areas and understanding that talent's not going to come from just one place.
I think it's a beautiful thing in this country. This is a great example. People come from all over to live the American dream, and now you're seeing the results. Second, third generation. You guys were the first, the pioneers. You started to build it, and now look what this is, what U.S. soccer is. It's incredible, and the growth and the talent, and it's only going to get better, and we're going to enjoy it all the way through. And in fact, the United States tonight have a dance with Jamaica. I'm going to throw on some Gregory Isaacs on the way home.
Well, I'd say one of the benefits of what we're seeing from that, you know, the birth of soccer in the United States is the league that's here, and it's allowing so many players on both of these teams that are on the field that have had players that have participated on teams within MLS and that will eventually still go to teams within MLS.
Now let's see where this goes for Rita in Costa Rica. Nowhere.
Excellent from Buchanan, just showing his abilities on the defensive side of things.
Alan Cruz wanted to give it a go from outside the city.
Alan Cruz is going to want that one back, because that one's going to set up perfectly for him. No pressure from anybody. The FC Cincinnati man could have probably taken another touch to get a little bit closer to the goal, leaned over it, and gotten that one on target. Going to feel like there's going to be just this feeling of desperation start to creep in for Costa Rica. They've got to try to get cleaner looks at goal. They've got to take more risks. They're going to have to start building out of the back with just 2.
Three-time CONCACAF champion Costa Rica, one-time Gold Cup champion Costa Rica, moving forward with Diaz, the man from Columbus, looking for a little space to crack thunder. Can't do it. Borges staying with it with Campbell. Bloomberg's flying in Dallas. Fire by Riz. Play on.
Oh, there's a couple looks that we're going to have to have another glance at.
Campbell securing that throw-in with Borges. Now it's Alan Cruz. Costa Rica wanted to move quickly, not allowing an opportunity for any kind of review whatsoever. So here's Ruiz. Matarrita was wide. He finds him. Diaz. Oh. Play on. Get the sense. A lot of ticos in the stands right now. Playing the ref. Blowing their whistle. 78 minutes in, 2-0 Canada. Joe Campbell.
There's the whistle.
Finally.
Well, let's take a look at this. This is the one that I really wanted to see. Diaz is coming through. That's a little tough. I was looking down below, and I didn't see a whole lot of contact down below, and I think maybe a good no call.
Joel Campbell. Francisco Calvo has Matarrita, finds him. Buchanan pressures. Alan Cruz, Luis Diaz, combo for MLS, trying to work. And this whistle will favor the Canadians, frustrating Tajon Buchanan. A lot of contact and chippiness from Diaz. Columbus versus New England right there.
And a couple of players that are got their trade going within MLS. And as I kind of mentioned earlier, there's quite a bit of that on the field right now.
Tajon setting up Tajon. Tajon for the delivery. What is he going to do? He tries to sneak it through.
Excellent timing by Alvarado off of that one, because Tajon Buchanan had a couple of decent looks to get that ball in sooner. He takes one extra touch. Alvarado jumps all over. Look, he can get the cross in here. He can probably get the cross in there, but that touch, just a little bit too much. Alvarado gets out, gets that right leg out just enough to block this cross. Tajon Buchanan's got to get that ball in much sooner. He's got numbers in the box. You got to push it across the face of the goal just to create some chaos in front of the net. Maybe it slips through. Maybe it's a deflection. You know, those are some of the things that, you know, an older player knows, that you just got to take the risk and take the chance. Sometimes it doesn't have to be just perfect.
Perfect for Canada so far, 2-0. So Esteban Alvarado feel a little pull there behind his knee somewhere after he launched that. This is bad news for that man right there, Profe Suarez, because when you're talking about keepers, he's running out. So we talked about Leonel Moreira, who's in for Keylor Navas, who's been nursing an injury for a while now. He finally recovered from that shoulder injury. He's not available. So Moreira gets suspended, unavailable. They go to Alvarado because Patrick Sequeira also injured and unavailable. Get ready, Kobe. Get those gloves ready.
You're trying to say I have some Costa Rican blood in me or something?
Hey, tell me. We gotta look that up. And they're gonna need a body. They're gonna need somebody. And that's, you know, going back, and all jokes aside, what they've needed was just that one player to connect to the top. You saw some good intentions from Costa Rica. You saw the idea, but every single time they cross that river, get into the attacking third, there was one pass missing. A guy that can just push it ahead and find some space for somebody like Campbell, for example. Lassiter couldn't break through.
Yeah, I really think for Costa Rica, they need that next player that can complement Joel Campbell. I think that's probably going to be what Luis Suarez is going to be looking for, is who can play with Joel Campbell up top, can complement him and be the next up-and-coming star, that out-and-out goal scorer for Costa Rica.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The yellow card.
Tayshaun Kindle also getting booked.
Number 24.
So that's 3 men getting booked for Canada in this match. So, as we were mentioning, Cavallini and Vitoria, the first 2 to get yellows in this one, are going to miss that semifinal if things stay this way against Mexico. Stacchio keeping it for Tayshaun Buchanan. Buchanan finding Cavallini and an opportunity for Canada. Cavallini put it on that left foot. Chuck, boom. Missed.
Well, it's a good touch. And as you see, Buchanan tucks inside. He's able to get that ball off of his feet, finds Cavallini, and Cavallini tries to sneak it just into that near post. It's a blistering shot, but I think Alvarado had it covered and just sees that one beyond his near post. But Cavallini consistently testing, consistently just moving off of the defenders, drifts about 3 or 4 yards off to get a little bit of space and gets the shot off.
So Henry in for Cavallini after firing off that shot. That's going to do it for him tonight. So Donnell Henry from the Suwon Samsung Blue Wings.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for Canada in the...
And the other change, Liam Fraser from the Columbus Crew will enter the center.
Entering the game, number 15, Donnell Henry.
Alongside the great Kobe Jones, the most capped Kobe Jones, I'm Adrian Garcia Marquez. Gold Cup action quarterfinals, the winner of this match, and right now looks to be Canada. They're 5 minutes away from earning that great prize, which is Mexico in the next round. And that'll happen on Thursday on FS1. Royce with a little bit of estilo. Now it's Diaz looking for the cross, looking for friends. No one there. Piet makes sure of it. Matarrita. He came to play. Diaz. And he took a shot from Henry as he was trying to cut it back. And Henry's like, I barely even touched.
Yeah, Henry just gets in the game, wants to be active, wants to get involved. Well, foul right off the bat. Probably in a very dangerous areas. Matarrita is setting this one up just outside the 18. And this is going to be about the service here. If Costa Rica wants a chance at this match, this is the opportunity right here to get back in this game, is to get it on the board off of this set piece. With set pieces, it's all about the service.
Delivered by Matarrita, punched out by Kerpo. Campbell resecures it. Alan Cruz looking to deliver, and it appears to have bounced off of Alistair Johnson. And that's going to do it at 86 minutes. Canada still holding on to that 2-0. Coming up next on FS1, the United States against Jamaica. Jamaica lost to Costa Rica in their last match. Now let's see what Tayshaun Buchanan can get done here.
Again.
Deja, again slipping by with skills and having to take a shot from Fuller. Keisha Fuller was fooled, but wasn't going to get fooled twice.
Now let's take a look at this play. Buchanan touches the ball beyond, and it looks like, yeah, maybe a little bit of a dive off of that one, trying to elicit the contact.
And that's going to do it for the man from the New England Revolution, celebrating his 8th cap tonight. And in for him is Theodore Corvenu of Wolverhampton. And that is Herdman's last sub. So approximately 3 minutes away are the Canadians from facing Mexico in the semifinal. Gold Cup 2021 alongside Kobe Jones. I'm Adrian Garcia Marquez. Thank you very much, says Theodore Corvenu, trying to make something happen, but no.
I'm kind of surprised that Corvenu didn't like to try to just take that himself and at least drive forward. Making that pass too soon, you know, allowed the defender to get back into a decent area. Got to drive the space and draw a defender.
Good ball. Just, big time save there for Alvarado. As you saw, Theodore Corvenu, he wasn't hearing it about the offside. He was just going to give it a shot, and Alvarado wasn't going to gamble. See it again, just barely, Kobe.
Yeah, just barely see it, but it's a foot offside. You got the cameras and everything now, so you can catch every little infraction.
Piet. So Victoria punching it ahead. Corvenu against 2 ticos. And the whistle will favor Costa Rica here. 88 minutes, another change for the ticos, and it's going to be Marin entering for the captain, Celso Borges. So Jimmy Marin from Deportivo Saprissa getting into the action.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Please, substitution for Costa Rica in the 90th minute.
So if things hold, the Canadians will be playing their first semifinal since 2007, looking to secure their first Gold Cup title since 2000. They've made the semifinals in 2002 and 2007. Luis Diaz battling Alistair Johnson. Now it's Ruiz going wide to Fuller.
Well, you have to think and what this means for Costa Rica going forward when you're talking about some of the older players on this squad. Where do they stand after this? When we're talking about this Gold Cup is done, it's a new coach taking a look at everybody. Is this going to be the end of that golden generation? When we're talking about players like Brian Ruiz, you know, and the Celso Borges, you know, all these players that are in their 30s, you know, will they continue to get looks as you're trying to build to that next stage of what you want to achieve? So we might be having the last look, or had the last look, at some of those players.
Yep, a great generation for the Ticos. Transitions happen. Suarez is aware of it. That's why he's trying to use maximum juice out of the roster, just using absolutely everybody so far. Campbell using his skills to maintain the possession. Now the ball's going to be delivered in, looking for Ruiz. Eustaquio secures it nicely with Piet. Yeah, we'll see. And then also with Costa Rica and their fan base, you know, they have high expectations. Costa Rica is always going to be a national team that will battle, and they know, like anything else, Kobe, every single franchise, national team, you name it, there's that point of transition, and it's happening now for the Ticos. Carbono. Get out of here, says Alan Cruz. Deletes him immediately. So So we're going to have about 4 more minutes, getting 5 extra of stoppage time. Francisco Calvo, the man from Chicago Fire, almost commits a mistake there. Was able to rectify. Crepo, not really tested tonight, huh? Just maybe 1, 2 balls that might have posed a threat. He saved one really nice one. That was it.
Yeah, you'd say it's mainly half chances, and that just goes to how Canada was playing defensively. That Vitoria really holding things down there. Essentially, the 3 in the back did a very good job, of just making sure that central part of the defense was covered. And then you have those players that are helping support on the wings, that have dropped in. If that's Buchanan on one side, Leria on the other, that have dropped in to add where you almost looks like 5 in the back at times when Costa Rica got forward.
And for the Canadians in the last 2 matches now, that's 28 shots fired on goal. Some on target, some on, but they've been firing off shots. 28 total in the last 2 matches. Something for Mexico to think about a little bit. Let's see what happens here. Crepo. So they're going to come at you, Kobe.
Yeah, Canada's a team that they figured out how to create chances. They've been decent on the defensive side of things. The big issue for them is finishing the chances. Who's going to be that finisher, especially when you have the player like Kyle Larin that's out now. That he was sitting out. The question is, who is the next person to step up? Now, we saw Ouellet tonight step up. We know that Tesho Akindele has been brought in, but still, as we saw earlier with the stat, there are 42 goals not here, on the night. Yeah, and then no Cavallini is going to be in the next match because he has to sit.
Vitoria, the captain?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting on the defensive side because he's going to have to sit. So a lot of changes for Canada from this match to the next, and that's not usually what you want in tournament formats, is giving up changes, and making a lot of changes from the quarters to the semis.
Carbonell says, I want this. Setting it up, Tesho! So close. Inside the 6.
Somebody tell me how that one didn't go in the net. Who made the save off of this one? And this is a great ball. I love this little touch here, getting the ball off quickly. Oh, that's a nice save from Alvarado. He just leaves that right leg hanging a little bit, goes off the shin, and goes up and over. And you can almost sense the relief from Alvarado that this one didn't go in. He's looking at it, and he's just like, oh, yes. And then relief. A lot of pressure.
That will do it. Canada with the win. Canada advances and will face Mexico in the next round. John Herdman's squad handled their business. Let's go to Rob and company in the studio to talk it, break it all down. Gentlemen.
Well, the only nation other than the United States and Mexico to win a Gold Cup title now moves on to their 4th overall semifinal. Canada getting their first shutout here at the Gold Cup. They take care of Costa Rica. 2-0 up next for them. As the guys mentioned, Mexico, Thursday night, 9:30 Eastern. Our coverage begins right here on FS1. Costa Rica's run is complete. John Herdman tonight.
Yeah, I think they justified the optimism that those of us from the outside have, and I think on the inside, and they're only going to get better. It makes me look forward to what this team is going to look like against Mexico, and they're going to be depleted, so they are going to be tested in terms of their depth, and certainly going forward in the octagonal, it's going to be really fun to see this team because they're for real.
And this Costa Rican side, you heard Kobe talking about it a little bit there. They're going through a transition now. We wanted to see some young players take some chances and emerge and start to push some of these guys out, but that hasn't been the case, and now they're going to be really tested to see who can really step up and emerge as some of the growing talent in this pool of players. Over the course of the tournament, we haven't been wowed by them, and I think this was just a confirmation of where they currently are at